Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. For years now, we've basically been told that microservices are the absolute ultimate cure for software complexity. But for a growing number of engineering teams out there, that cure is starting to look a whole lot worse than the disease. Today, we are unpacking a massive shift in how we build software. We're going to look at that initial utopian promise of microservices, and then compare it to the really harsh, often hidden operational reality that developers are actually dealing with today. Microservices were supposed to be the perfect architecture, but as you'll see, for a lot of organizations, they've actually turned into a bit of an operational nightmare. Here's our roadmap for the discussion. We're going to cover the initial microservices promise, how we ended up redistributing software complexity, those hidden operational nightmares, the resulting infrastructure explosion, organizational misalignment, and finally, sustainable system decomposition. Understanding this exact trajectory is absolutely crucial if you want to master scalable architecture without completely burning out your team. All right, let's just dive right into it with Section 1, the microservices promise. So, to really understand why microservices became so wildly popular in the first place, we have to look at the historical problem they were trying to fix, the monolith. These large applications were just painful. They were essentially giant tangled balls of digital yarn. They were notoriously difficult to deploy, incredibly hard to scale, and just overwhelmingly complex to maintain. Different teams became so tightly coupled together that a single, tiny code change could force you to redeploy the entire massive application. Basically, if one little thing broke, the whole thing went down, and that absolutely tanked development velocity. The solution? Well, it seemed incredibly obvious and honestly brilliant at the time. Just split the monolith. By breaking large applications down into smaller, totally independent services, where each one just handles a specific business capability, teams could deploy independently and build way faster. I mean, it looked like absolute magic. Banks, tech startups, enterprise giants, literally everyone raced to break their code apart so they could ship faster. It really felt like a massive revolution in productivity. But then reality set in, which brings us to Section 2, redistributing software complexity. Here is the core thesis of this whole explainer, so definitely pay attention to this part. Microservices do not eliminate software complexity, not even a little bit. Inside a monolith, everything is happening locally right there in memory. It's incredibly fast, it's simple, and it's reliable. But the second you break that apart, suddenly you're forcing all those components to talk to each other over a network. You are fundamentally trading that localized simplicity for network latency, weird timeouts, packet loss, and huge cascading failure risks. You haven't removed the complexity at all. You've literally just picked it up and moved it from the application code straight into distributed system coordination. And when you move from local code to a network, you create what's called a probabilistic system. Think of it kind of like this. It's the difference between handing a file directly to your coworker sitting at the very next desk versus relying on the postal service to mail that same file across the country during a massive thunderstorm. A distributed system just behaves completely differently. It becomes operationally unpredictable. Requests might fail randomly, dependencies drop out of nowhere, and traffic is constantly fluctuating. You're no longer managing certainties. You are managing probabilities. So what does that actually look like day to day? Let's move to Section 3, hidden operational nightmares. One of the biggest issues is service sprawl, and it is honestly terrifying. It always starts innocently enough. Maybe you build 10 services, it feels super clean and organized, right? But as the organization scales, those 10 rapidly turn into 100, and before you know it, you're looking at 1,000 services. Your engineering teams are now trying to manage thousands of APIs, distinct deployment pipelines, and wildly fragile communication paths. You aren't just growing anymore, you are multiplying your complexity exponentially. Which leads us to a highly stressful, real-world scenario that keeps engineers up at night. Suppose a totally normal user request fails. A customer clicks a buy button and it just errors out. Why? In a monolith, you just pop open a local log, trace the error, and boom, you're done. But in a distributed system, that single request might have bounced across literally dozens of individual services before it broke. You are suddenly playing detective at a distributed crime scene. Was the API gateway overloaded? Wait, did service discovery fail? Was it a downstream timeout? Did DNS break? Did a random network spike cause a massive retry storm that took down a totally unrelated dependency? Finding the root cause feels exactly like looking for a needle in a haystack, except the haystack is also made of needles. Debugging is no longer a straightforward task. It's a full-blown forensic investigation across dozens of network hops. And the nightmare isn't just limited to the network either. It completely messes with your data. Distributing data ownership basically destroys the beautiful simplicity of centralized transactional databases.
Now your services have to somehow coordinate state changes and failures across the network. You get forced into using incredibly complicated workarounds. Things like eventual consistency, where you're essentially just crossing your fingers and hoping all the databases eventually agree with each other. Or sagas, which are basically these crazy complex multi-step undo buttons spread all across the network. The entire architecture becomes significantly harder to even reason about.
Obviously, the industry couldn't just leave it like this. We had to react. That brings us to Section 4, the infrastructure explosion. To try and band-aid all this chaos, we went ahead and invented a literal mountain of infrastructure. You need Kubernetes now just to deploy your containers. You need service meshes and all their proxies just to manage traffic and security policies. You need multi-cluster coordination. The wild, surprising truth here is that the infrastructure stack required just to run the microservices often becomes vastly more complicated and way more expensive than the actual application you are trying to build. Right at the very heart of that infrastructure explosion is observability. Because microservices generate just massive, mind-boggling volumes of telemetry, observability tools using distributed tracing became mandatory. Basically, this is technology that tags a request with a tracker so you can actually follow it as it jumps from server to server. Without this foundational layer, managing a large microservices ecosystem isn't just hard, it is literally operationally impossible. You would be flying completely blind. So, knowing all this pain, why do so many smart companies still fail with this architecture? Let's check out Section 5, Organizational Misalignment. Because everyday developers were completely drowning in all that distributed infrastructure complexity we just talked about, a necessary organizational response had to happen. We created platform engineering. These are dedicated internal teams whose entire job is to abstract away the deployment pipelines, network policies, and observability tooling into an internal product. Why? Just so your regular developers can actually get back to writing code. This means you aren't just paying engineers to build your app anymore, you are paying a whole separate team of engineers just to maintain your internal plumbing. The reality is, a lot of companies blindly adopt microservices just to look like Netflix or Google, assuming it's purely a technical upgrade. But success here doesn't come from the tech. It comes from organizational maturity. If you don't have strictly independent teams, really clear domain boundaries, and immense operational discipline, your microservices are going to collapse into distributed chaos. You simply cannot solve a culture problem with a network topology. And here's why this is so incredibly relevant right this very second. The booming AI industry is currently building systems with agents, retrieval layers, and memory systems. And guess what? That is basically a highly complex distributed system in disguise. They are on the verge of repeating these exact same operational mistakes. The industry is risking massive orchestration complexity without building up the necessary operational discipline to actually keep those systems online and stable. Okay. So what is the pragmatic way forward here? Let's finish up with Section 6, Sustainable System Decomposition. There is a massive shift happening right now in the industry. Instead of going for maximum decomposition, shattering your app into the tiniest pieces possible, which companies often do way too early before they even have the scale to justify the pain, smart teams are moving toward what we call operationally sustainable decomposition. For a lot of organizations, just building a really well-organized modular monolith is dramatically simpler, highly effective, and completely saves you from all those distributed networking nightmares we've been talking about. Seriously, if you take away just one single thing from our discussion today, please let it be this. Microservices do not eliminate complexity. They move complexity into networking, orchestration, observability, coordination, debugging, and distributed operations. Microservices aren't inherently evil or bad, but they are absolutely not a universal magic bullet. They represent a massive, heavy operational trade-off. Which leaves us with this final, absolutely vital question to ask yourselves and your engineering teams. Is your organization actually ready to manage distributed complexity at scale, or are you just adopting an operational nightmare because it happens to be a popular industry trend? Remember, software architecture is an operational and organizational decision. It is never just a technical one. Take a really hard look at your team's readiness before you decide to break apart that monolith. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep questioning how you build.